Hi, everybody. It's your old pal Chuck, and we are back with another Transformers Age of Extinction review. Today, we're taking a look at Deluxe Class Drift. Yep, that's right. I'm finally getting into the Deluxe Class figures. We've taken a look at his Power Battler, his Flip and Change, and now the Deluxe figure. Well, this is actually a very nice representation of the Bugatti sports car that he represents. Although I have heard from several sources that these rear fins only spring up when the car goes over 200 miles per hour. As someone who lives in New York City, I've never seen anybody get close to 200 miles per hour. So I don't think this car would do well here. Other than that, it rolls quite nicely. You do have weapon storage for his various samurai swords. The two large ones fit right underneath there, and you can't see them that well, but right there and there, they are sticking through, connected to the inside of the windshield. Speaking of which, I have heard from several sources and from my own personal experience that getting the figure into car mode sometimes is a little tricky about popping in this roof and hood piece. One thing I've noticed is that it has to do with how this grill section is lined up. If you're having a problem popping the hood in, adjust this front piece around until you can just slot in very easily. Um, it's kind of hard to show, and I tried filming it to show, but it just doesn't work. But this is about it for the car mode. Very nice shade of blue. Bugatti logo right there. Um, Taillights, what have you. Let's get to the transformation. Okay, believe it or not, unlike in the previous movie lines, the transformation for Drift isn't that difficult. First, what you want to do is come in underneath and remove the swords. Just put those off to the side, and there you go. Next, what you want to do is come in to the sides here and open up the doors. These will actually be formed shoulder panels, and as you open them up, you'll see there's this great samurai armor detailing, and this is on both sides of the figure. And as you've gone ahead, you can go ahead and detach the front here. This whole section will rise up. You can detach it from the back. It's on a little accordion swivel joint, so what you want to go ahead and do is come in the back here, flip this around, rotate it slightly. Oop. It's a not a tight joint, but it's a little loose. So sometimes the base of the car will rotate around. Come inside, remove the swords. Unfortunately, they will be moved to a different panel. We'll see that in robot mode. Continue and just rotate this around. So now that the rear of the car is facing towards the front, go ahead, flip that little under panel up. It might get stuck a little, but there you go. So now it's all out of the way. Now, what you want to do is untuck the arms from behind the legs, come into the top here, and pull down the shoulders. They really only move down slightly, but they are on a ratchet joint, and it does make a difference about getting the vehicle into car mode. Next, what you want to go ahead and do is flip down the front of the car, and this will form the chest. And I have to say, this is a part where a lot of people were surprised that they were able to incorporate the front of the car as being the robot's chest. Pretty much everyone thought it would just be like a fake chest or something. Once you flip down the front of the car, it'll pop up the head, so you just want to go ahead and finish rotating that up. Now, you're coming back along this backpack here. There is this little hook piece with a slot right there. Right in there. What you want to do is just go ahead and tab this in to the back of the neck, and that will secure the backpack, just like so. So you can also then, if you want, move these shoulder pads up slightly. They swing freely, so it's up to you. Next, comes down to like what I think is the best part of the transformation, which is the legs. Go ahead and split them open, rotate the feet down, and in doing so, you'll rotate up the fins because they're all connected. Ratchet joints down there, by the way. Go ahead, rotate the side of the rear wheel wells back, and then flip in that panel. You can then go ahead and bring this back up so it's a little more flush with the leg. Do it again on this side, just like so. And there you have Drift in robot mode. Now, for weapon storage. Take these little small swords, come back, and they just peg in right behind there. Unfortunately, no, these will not. You cannot leave them in here for car mode. They just won't fit. You do have to move them around. It is a little bit of an issue, I know. Now, for the larger swords, this is kind of interesting. If you look on the swords, there is like these little notches right there. I really thought they were for just aesthetic purposes. Not so. You can actually come in, and on the side of this panel here are a couple tabs that these will slot into if I am doing this properly. Yeah, if I can, there we go. Just like so. So you basically want that larger peg facing towards the back of the figure, and that will slot it in. Just like so. If you can, not like me, if you can line them up properly. So there you have all the swords stored on the back. Now, of course, yes, you can have them going facing up, facing like a rotor blade. Why you would want to do that, I don't know. Or things of that nature. Oops, I just popped a couple of them out. But, you know, it's up to you. I tend to like to have the blades facing down just for aesthetic purposes. So, yeah. Let's now for articulation. As I mentioned, there is a lot of faux ratchet joints on this. First, his head is on a ball joint. Very expressive, which I am impressed because of the samurai head sculpt here, which is very nice. I mean, this is like a very respectable kabuto. See, you didn't know I knew that, eh? So, pin and socket joint here at the shoulder, ratchet joint at the elbow. You have some bicep swivel. You have some latent wrist swivel. Unfortunately, it's only in and out, not up and down, so you can't get that good of a dynamic wrist pose. Now, the hips are on share a single joint, but the legs can move independently. They are on pin and socket with lateral ratcheting. The knees are on ratchet joints as well, and you do have that ankle joints there in the feet. So, you know, you can get the natural relaxed posed for drift is actually very dynamic looking, which, you know, give or take, you might enjoy it, you might not. I personally don't. So yeah, we'll pause here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. I'll be honest, I really wasn't sure how much I would like drift. The car mode looked interesting, and I am a fan of the original Universe Generations version of the figure. But movie aesthetics really never grabbed me. This is kind of cool. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with that head sculpt and the fact that it's not that very alien, very foreign look, well, not like intergalactic foreign looking type of face. But yeah, as you can see, you can hold the swords quite nicely. You know, the robot mode is very colorful. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know if these colors match. I do also know that there is another version of Drift coming in a Voyager wave, but that one's a helicopter. And I just can't seem to understand why they would make a helicopter of Drift. Or the fact that you can basically position the swords on his back like they look like folded up rotor blades. I am so pissed people off with that one. But anyway, can I recommend this figure? Honestly, right now I would say hold off, because this is a Wave 2 figure, and as we all know historically, the first two waves of movie lines tend to stick around for a long time. Plus, coming towards the fall and closer to the holiday season, it appears there will be a Toys R Us exclusive Platinum Edition 5-pack, and Drift will be one of those figures, and it's supposed to have a more movie accurate paint design, as well as these swords will be done up in silver. If that's more your thing, and to be honest, I think it'll be a better value. That's how I would go. So, it's your old pal Chuck for Drift. We'll see you next time.